Good evening, everybody. It's David Schlotthauer here in the home weather office on this beautiful Monday evening. Depending on where you're watching this from, it's Monday night, especially where it is Eastern Daylight Time. It is 11:01 where you guys are watching this from, and we got a special guest in tonight's live stream that we will be introducing here in just a bit. As always, you guys are new to the channel. Welcome aboard. It's an honor that you're here, taking your time out of your day to watch me live here. It's been a hot minute since we were able to stream live here on the channel, and that's because we were in Portland, Oregon yesterday. Actually, we came back last night, and so it's an honor that I'm back here keeping you all updated. So what are we seeing right now in the tropics? So let me actually bring up my epic pin here so I can annotate so I'm not all Willy Wonka boring here. So what we have over here is Flossie. This is on its way becoming a hurricane by tonight. We also have another area of disturbed weather that we need to watch closely, especially in southern Georgia and Florida. Some of the models are still picking this up at some tropical development. And then, of course, we got more activity coming off of Africa. We are getting closer and closer to climatology for the peak of the hurricane season, which is still slated to arrive right around the early September timeframe. So with that being said, I want to take a hot minute here at showing you all our special guest that we have in the stream tonight. So this is actually my nephew.
Hi, my name is Brandon.
Yeah, we call him BJ though, which means Brandon Jr. Where are you from?
Maryland.
Yeah, they're from Maryland. Yeah, where they get hurricanes sometimes. They got severe weather, huh? Got some big hail.
Yep.
How big was the hail?
Basically it was like marble sized.
Yeah, it was marble sized. Yeah, I've never seen hail that big actually. So very exciting actually to for my nephew to witness that. And actually, what are our plans for next year? What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Remember, Big Brandon's gonna take us out storm chasing.
Oh yeah. So my daddy's gonna take us out storm chasing.
How does that sound, folks? I mean, I am very excited to go storm chasing for once. The problem about that is we need to make sure, or I need to make sure I get the time off for work, so I'm actually able to take a ride and storm chase. So yeah, tonight is a special night. We're gonna do the weather as it is, but I just wanted to introduce my nephew here, Brandon Jr., because he absolutely, when he heard about my YouTube channel, he was like, dude, I want to be on stream. I want to be on stream. We literally, when I got home from last night. And so I was like, Brandon, I can't do it tonight. It's late. Instead, I'm going to make a video and have that out in the morning. And so I promised him today we were going to do a live stream and he was going to be part of the live stream. And I told him, this is your only chance because, you know, got to keep it professional here. But yeah, it is a very, oh, look, your mom's watching. Megan's watching. My mom. Hey, Megan, how are you doing? Yeah, so yeah, let's get started. And let's talk about the tropics. All right, we looked at satellite imagery, but let's actually take a look here at the National Hurricane Center, because we do have an area that NHC has been watching very closely over here. Right, BJ, look at 20% chance. So there's a low chance of this developing. Me and him both agree, right? Do you think this is actually going to develop?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because it's huge.
Yes, it has a lot of deep convection on it. And so he's even saying it's probably going to end up developing. And I'm thinking I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle on that one. Yeah, he would literally wants to be a potential weather guy over here after watching this stream. And only if I lived in Maryland, I would be hosting him in more of these streams. But yeah, this is only gonna be a one-time thing. Maybe I'll surprise him tomorrow, but otherwise, that's that.
That's all supplies.
So yeah, 20% chance. We gotta watch this one. I'll show you all on the models on what models are telling us and what my thoughts are on that system. And then nothing is being highlighted down here yet. Okay, but we look for symptoms before we actually get talking about, oh, we have a hurricane, because everyone out there on social media, you know, depending on who you follow on YouTube and this, they're going to be like, oh, we got a hurricane down there. Look at that little guy. It's only one model, right? It's only one model, right? So let's take a look here at Flossie. Yeah, we got Flossie. This is literally 6-name storm. This is our 6-name storm in the Eastern Pacific. And it has 65-mile-an-hour winds, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Freeway speed. Yes, it has freeway speed. So let's actually look at the cone of uncertainty here. So what we have here is the forecast cone of Flossie. I know this is not impacting anyone directly, but I want to keep an eye on the Eastern Pacific. For those that are watching this from the Eastern Pacific side, like Cabo San Lucas, Megan, yes, you went down to Cabo with me on a cruise. Yeah, beautiful place. And then, of course, we got Puerto Vallarta and Mazatlan, Mexico. That is under a tropical storm warning. This is going to parallel the coast, so we are only looking at hurricane conditions off the coast, but still, yeah, the tropical storm force wind field here in orange is going to be skimming the coast. So yeah, some wind damage, some high surf is going to be a thing with that. And also the potential rainfall. Yeah, it's not about the wind, huh, BJ? It's all about what? The rainfall too. There's impacts with a hurricane, not just the wind, but the rainfall, and what comes also, not only the rainfall, but what do viewers have to be careful for out on the water?
Hail.
Nope.
Waves.
Waves. Big waves. Yeah, because the waves are going to be really big coming out of this tropical system and eventually into hurricanes. So that's
No, he has a question.
yeah, we'll get to questions. Yeah. BJ's already ahead of me. He's like the streamer pro over here, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get to questions here since BJ is kind of like the boss over here. So Chris, what's your question? So since we talked about that, I didn't want to forget about anyone over here near Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I know you guys love this child. Oh, he's fun. What did you do today? Tell the viewers, what did you do on this hot, fine summer day?
I go swimming.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was out there spraying water on them while they were jumping in the splash pad. It was 100 degrees today. All right, Chris is so how do things look near Washington State? I was just up there yesterday morning. So up there in Washington, it's not really related to the tropics, but it is looking a lot more quieter, unfortunately, because I wanted sunshine and instead it was just soggy and wet. Literally most of the time when I was up there, at least in Portland, Oregon. So it is looking pretty good for the Washington area going forward. No big storms. Yeah, you all, please subscribe to the channel and also hit the like button, like slap that like button because this guy is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like really good. Little podcast edition here is what we're doing. So, Chris, what's your next question? All right. Joker, is active hurricane season 2025 July waking up? I believe so. And that's why we're going to dive into the models here and extrapolate with what we are looking at as far as what the models are telling us and what we need to be concerned about when it comes to those models. How do the tropics look for the 4th of July? So let's roll that in because people are like, you guys are running ahead of schedule ahead of me. So let's actually dive into the models, right? So I'm going to explain to BJ here what we're looking at, and then he could even point out to the futures that we're most concerned about. So BJ, we're actually looking at a 3-plot system. So the color shading here, the yellows and the orange, is vorticity, how much spin there is in the atmosphere. So the redder colors, like this is what we're looking for. So if this thing was in the Atlantic, we would be like, oh, we got to really watch that. But this is in the Eastern Pacific. We still have to watch it. But the color shading is where we have vorticity. And then, of course, our wind barbs tell us how strong and which way the wind is blowing from, and our height lines. I know this is a lot for an 8-year-old to learn, but I'll tell you, this is actually telling us where there's a ridge of high pressure or where there's a trough. Lower heights mean more disturbed weather. Thunderstorms, inclement weather. It's just not a good day to go walk the dog, to go have a picnic or a barbecue, or even jump in the pool like what BJ did today, which was great. All right, so let's put this into motion, shall we, folks? So let's... What? Some people do just have a lot of questions. So let's see. Is there any threat for a tropical storm for New York City and Long Island? No, there is not. Not right now. Yellow and orange, red is freaky. Yes. Okay, so yeah. People tease me all around a little bit. All right, so let's put this into motion. All right, so what we're looking at here is, of course, nice, good, stable pattern at least through the first 7 to 8 days out here with trade winds that are strong. We got another system that is going to more than likely develop. The GFS has been indicating that for a while. Another hurricane. I cannot believe we're going to be on our letter G storm. Literally, our letter G storm in the Eastern Pacific when it shouldn't be happening. Literally. So, climate models may be screwy. So, putting this now further out in time, I don't see anything out there right now. But what I do see is what is going on down here in the deep tropics. We can see all this yellow, all this orange. And what does that mean, BJ? See if you remember.
It is a bunch of waves.
Nope. It's a bunch of spin.
Oh, it's a bunch of wind.
Spin.
A bunch of spin.
Yes. So, yeah, so it's spin, basically. It's vorticity. Yeah, it's a lot to take in. It really is. It definitely is. So yeah, G storm in the Eastern Pacific isn't out of the question. So looking forward, the GFS model still indicates that there is this area of disturbed weather over the southeastern United States as well as the eastern seaboard. Yeah, so Maryland may be catching some rain out of this and some breezy winds, but nothing too significant. That's the good news. And then just beyond that, all the way out to the middle of July, we do have a lot of confluence here along the intertropical convergence zone or the monsoonal trough that extends off of Western Africa into the deep tropics. And these are symptoms, okay? So before you when you get a flu, folks, you develop stomach pain, you're going to develop a fever, you're going to have body aches, and then you're probably going to throw up, right? And you just feel tired before you throw up. So in other words, I don't want to make you all feel disgusted here, but there are symptoms. So what I'm looking for here is that vorticity. Are we seeing convergence along this boundary down here? And the answer to that is yes. We are seeing a little bit of confluence, but we're also seeing that the ITCZ is also pretty far south. I mean, it's way down here where it should be for this time of the year. So that's what we're looking at on the GFS. What does the European model show? The ECMWF, same plot system. Let's put this into motion. And we can see right here, let me zoom in. The European model over the eastern sea or off the coast here of Georgia and the Carolinas has that area of spin. Okay, it's broad, and these systems are hard to pinpoint down because even so the Euro is showing a weak area of spin, water temperatures in this area are very, very, very warm. Warm enough to support fairly good development of this system. So that's why we are going to be watching this area really closely over the course of the next 3 to 6 days. And this is going to be around the time of 4th of July weekend. So if you have any plans, definitely stay tuned for my to the tropics here, because there is going to be some enhanced rainfall in southern Florida as well as the Bahamas. Nothing right now for the eastern seaboard, but if we take a look at the GFS, you can see more rainfall, more convection here that continues. And then, of course, eventually into the following week, it moves back into the eastern seaboard like Maryland, Virginia, the Carolinas, the Appalachians, getting some of the water out of this. So now another product that I like to look at here is relative humidity. So this tells us which areas are very dry, right? That's brown colors.
Yeah.
And let me see if you know this, BJ. What are the teal and blue colors?
Waves.
Try again. So if this is really dry air, what's this?
Right
here.
Really wet air.
Good job. Good job. So BJ's telling us there's a lot of moisture with the teal colors, and that's literally what we are looking at here. All of the teal colors tell us how much water is in the air as well, you know, with the relative humidity, and the brown colors are very dry air. So we can see here lots of dry air. That Saharan air layer is going to continue. Oh, people are giving you a round of applause. So the brown colors indicate how much drier air is. And so BJ's going to get this one because he's already... What? Oh, Mindy, yeah. Hey, BJ, yeah, she said hi to you. All right, so everyone is saying hi to BJ, so we're actually going to, he's going to say hi back to everyone here. So let me actually... Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. He's special. He's really special in the family, and the fact that he's visiting us is even more special. So, so we have a tropical wave right here, BJ, and you know why that is? Because there's a lot of moisture. So that's what we look for in the tropics is these tropical waves, and this is going to be impacting eventually, maybe into the Eastern Caribbean, but it is pretty far out in time. Of course it is, because we're looking at the middle of July here. I mean, we're technically not in July yet. It's still the 30th. It's still June, and we're looking all the way out in the middle of July. So pretty far out, 360 hours out on the Euro. So now there's other things that we look for other than drier air. And I'm going to give BJ a 50% chance that he's going to guess this one correctly. So BJ, what are we looking at here? What map is this? It's something with wind. It's wind shear, deep layer vertical wind shear. So if you have wind doing this throughout the atmosphere, you're going to get a lot of wind shear, and that's going to tear apart hurricanes. So I can tell he is. Uh-oh. We're good. This is sagging on us. Oh, yeah, of course. They're watching everything that's happening. Sorry, folks. Our boom arm decided to kind of give out on us. So there we go. All right, so looking at the deep layer vertical wind shear plot, we can see that the wind shear over time is going to eventually abate out here. It's a gradual process. It's only the middle of July, and we're going to be looking at climatology here. So the vertical wind shear is pretty strong over the Caribbean for a while. That's the junkyard for any hurricane that hits that area. It's going to shred it into smithereens. And then, of course, out here in the MDR, we're looking at near favorable conditions for deep layer vertical wind shear. All right, so BJ's probably favorite thing is the water, right? He was actually jumping in the water today and he said, man, this water's so cold. It's, you know, because guess what? He's used to very warm sea surface temperatures along the Maryland coastline, right? So the fact that he said the water here is cold, it's cold, tells me these waters are outrageously warm. They shouldn't be this warm this early in the season, right, BJ? I mean, come on. You know how warm these waters are up here? Upper 80s. We're at 88 to 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, I could even ask BJ, if waters are that warm, you won't be complaining that the water's cold, huh? He wouldn't be complaining, and that tells you already water temperatures are very warm in the upper 80s along the Louisiana coast, Mississippi, Alabama, and the Florida coast of the Big Bend. Just very, very, very warm. And this is the warmest basin. If you all are curious, the Gulf right now is taking the cake of being the warmest basin out of the entire Atlantic as far as the eye can see right now. So yeah, you all are feeling it down there along the Gulf Coast. And look at the water anomalies. They're also above average. Look at all that orange. This is running above where we should be for the latter part of June into early July. And then down here in the Bay of Campeche, along the Mexico coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, water temperatures are slightly below average because we had Barry, our second named storm in the Atlantic basin itself. We had Andrea, then we had Barry, and we'll just be waiting for our next named storms to come around the corner. Chantel is the next one on the list. And right now, we're not going to see that C named storm anytime soon just yet. Okay. Okay, that's what I wanted. So, I showed BJ this and he told me, you got to fix some things. I'm like, I know. So we're looking at June 30th here. So he actually told me, you got to update that. That's June 29th. That's from yesterday. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to update it because it's from my morning's video. So therefore, he gave me some advice. I updated it for you all. And so right now, on this particular day, from 1944 to 2020, BJ, there have been only 9 named storms, which are tropical storms, and only 1 hurricane that is formed here on the 30th of June. So basically, BJ, this tells us we're not in the peak of hurricane season. This is not the busy time of the year where we need to be looking for tropical systems out there. This is pretty much the slow time, and a lot of you are like wondering, like, where are our named storms at? We just had 2 named storms in June. In June, we had 2 named storms, and we thought we wouldn't get away with it. So instead, we have had 2 named storms here, and we are ahead of schedule. It doesn't seem like it. It really doesn't. Ace producing, we're behind schedule on that. But the number of named storms, we're ahead of schedule. All right? What? What's so funny?
Take a look at.
As long as we have toilet paper and water, we are prepared. Oh my gosh. Dude, you are hilarious. Here is the laughter from BJ. Look at it. You literally made him laugh. And if you make him laugh, that's great. That's good news, right? Yeah, as long as we have toilet paper, we should be fine. Well, make sure you have your generator and it's not outside. Never have your generator out there. Yeah. 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 It is. It's so funny. Yeah, so, okay, let's get back and let's focus back here, and then we'll get to all kinds of questions. Everybody's holding their questions back, I know. You could ask BJ questions after we get through our discussion here, as well as you could ask me questions. So, of course, the peak here is not until September 10th, and we are down here on the last day of June, June the 30th. I forgot to update the arrow. Dagnabbit, BJ, you got to tell me these things. It's fine. It's fine. So we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go before we get to the very top here of our graph. Okay. It's not July 10th even. It's not August 10th. We still have a little over 2 months before the peak of hurricane season. I mean, 99% of the season is still ahead of us. Please realize that. Okay, so as you know, we are ahead of schedule. And here's a little fun fact. Guess when Beryl formed last year? I want you all to guess that one. Guess when Hurricane Beryl formed last year. If you guys get it correct, BJ will be like, congratulations. Let's see if you guys get it correctly. So, guess when Beryl formed last year? I already know the answer, okay? I already know the answer. Yeah. When did Beryl form last year then? Okay. If you guessed July, you are actually wrong. Just Vienna. Exactly 1 year from now. Nope. That's also incorrect. It actually formed on June 28th of last year. June 28th. So if you guys guessed June 28th, you get a round of applause. So why? Yeah, long and dog. Yeah, got it right after I said it though. So no one got that one correct, but that's fine, you know. And why am I saying that? Well, because we literally had Barry that formed literally a day or two earlier than when Beryl formed, which means our season is ahead of schedule as far as our number of named storms. Take a look at this chart right here. I highlighted it. June 20th is typically when we get our first named storm on average. Okay, this goes from 1991 to 2020. Our second named storm doesn't typically form until July 17th. We already had Barry before July in itself. So we are pretty far. We're about 2 or 3 weeks ahead of where we should be. And the third named storm doesn't even form until August 3rd. So believe me, folks, we've got a long way to go. And the fact that we are seeing already our second named storm in the Atlantic before the 17th of July, and the fact that we saw Barry formed a day or two earlier than Beryl last year means the season is it's a bit above schedule, or ahead of schedule. It's a bit above normal. Why is that important? Because our first hurricane doesn't form on average until August 11th. So we are still ahead of schedule on that as well, way ahead. So in other words, it's nothing to be like, oh, our season's dead. People were predicting that it's going to be above average season. Well, guess what? We have until the last day of November to make all of it up. All right, so we're going to move through this pretty quickly here because we're going to get to questions. So, of course, what you're looking at here is a Hofmöller diagram. So green colors indicate where there's rising motion. Orange and red colors are where there is sinking motion. And we got more rising motion over here. So, in other words, the Atlantic is about closed for business until we get into about the middle part of July, when we do get some rising motion over Western Africa. That's going to get these tropical waves a little stronger coming off of Africa. And eventually, if the background state cooperates, we'll need to watch the Caribbean and even the Gulf closer to home as we go into the middle of July. Other than what we have over here is this little guy that we are going to watch in the short term for the next 7 days. All right. And then in the long term, looking out into early August, another area of rising motion is likely to move through the Caribbean into the Atlantic, helping to promote more tropical development down the road. So, I mean, it's a slow start in the Atlantic this go around, but it doesn't always mean it's going to stay that way. All right. Late starts means a backloaded season, and a backloaded season is not always a good thing. It really isn't. I want to make it clear with all of you. I know you guys are like, you're here on this channel hoping that I cover something really big, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to keep you all updated as often as I can on the tropics, because a lot of you are liking the updates on the tropics. All right, so this is where our intertropical convergence zone has been over the last 10 days. You can see in the red line where it was previously, and where the black line is, that's, oh no, wait, the current is red. The purple is previous, and then of course the black line is where we should be. So where we're at right now is we are still behind. So the ITCZ on average is still further south than it should be for this time of the year, and that means a whole lot, because if it's too far north, then we have a sloppy season like we had last year, right? We didn't get very much Cabo Verde or African wave development, and instead it was in the Caribbean and also the Gulf that had the majority of the activity other than Beryl, and that's because of our ITCZ was way up here, way far north than it should be. So right now we are on average perfectly where we should be in the western half of it. And then the eastern half, where a lot of the sloppiness came from, this is also already below average still, all the way since early May. And that's going to play a huge role. Does this stay further south than it should be? Or does this go further north and make up? That's a question we don't know. But for right now, it looks like this is going to probably make up and at least get to near average by about late August into early September. And that's why traditionally that's the peak of hurricane season, because that's when we get the West African monsoon that gets going. All right, let's get to questions. I know we're cutting this a bit on the short side, and that's just because we have BJ over here. He looks a little bored already, but not when we get to questions. So are you all ready for questions? We have 240 people watching. BJ, how do you feel? Come on.
I feel excited.
Yes. Because you know what he's been telling me last night? I want to be on your stream. I want to be on your stream. I want to so be on your stream. I'm like, okay, BJ, we will work something out tomorrow. And it seems like a lot of you are liking it. This is a great little podcast edition of the tropics. It's great. So let me bring us back on here. Let me move me up there to the top so I'm not blocking the tropics. All right. Any questions you need to ask me, or do you want to ask BJ? You choose, you pick and choose. Because you guys, I love you guys. I really, really do. David, can I send photos of last week's Durate show in DMs? Yes. In Discord, you can. What's up, Tony? What's up? BJ, Tony, right? Yeah, he's in Maryland. He's not far from you, Tony. He's not. He can literally travel right up to New York and New Jersey and dance up a storm. No, I'm just kidding. Soul, this is the only time you'll see a kid here, and this is my nephew. This is literally my nephew, just not random stranger, right? Like, he's not a random stranger. He is my nephew. My sister, my nephew, are visiting all the way from Maryland, for a little vacation, you know? And so I told BJ about my YouTube channel last night, and he was like, wait, you have a YouTube channel? I'm like, yes, BJ, I have a YouTube channel. I'm like, and then I think he asked me, how many subs do you have? I'm like, I have 42,810 something. And he was like, whoa, that's a lot. And I says, and guess what? And I told him, guess what I do? I make videos and I live stream. I'm like, can I be on your live stream, please, please? please? I'm like, sure. So, that's why it's a special edition. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Oh, and by the way, if you think someone said you have a kid on here, how about this? Next year I plan on going storm chasing with my nephew and also yeah. BJ, what's the weather for Muncie, Indiana tomorrow? I have to mow the yard in the morning. All right, so I'm going to show you the model, and then you're going to just say what the forecast is going to be like. I'm going to try to interpret it for him tomorrow. All right, so this is a look at the GFS model. All right, the global forecasting system. So this is Tuesday. So what does it look like for Indiana for the most part? Looks pretty good, right? Do you see any green?
No.
No green, which means there's no rain. But let's check our meso models. Yes. So let's take a look here at the 0Z run for tomorrow. Yeah, what does it look like for Indiana? Pretty good, huh? For Indiana, because he was asking what's the weather for his area tomorrow. Pretty good. Yeah, so there's a couple of little blips. Temperatures, though, in the mid 80s, and the dew points, I guarantee you those dew points are going to be miserable. Actually, not too bad once that cold front rolls through. Yeah, I know I'm not going to be able to get to every question, but I'll do my best. Do the question have to be weather related? It could be related to BJ, still a little special session, and it could be weather related. So you guys have a little bit more freedom in this live stream tonight. This is the only time that some of the questions don't need to be weather related, just because, you know. Yeah. So yeah. So someone was asking, yeah, so let's see. Where was the question? Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Freckles83 says, if it's not weather related, what is your favorite cartoon, BJ? What's
The Amazing World of Gumball.
Nice. The Amazing World of Gumball. I've never heard of that, actually. Of course, I'm not a TV person, so I don't watch cartoons. I mean, you guys will. Yeah. So that is a good question. You want to be a storm chaser? So they're asking you this. So do you want to be a storm chaser?
Yes, definitely.
You heard it from the guy. He's already liking the weather over here. He's really liking the weather. He also likes Pokemon Go. Oh my goodness. Pokemon Go is one of his favorite things as well. I'm not so much into Pokemon, but I'll tell you, my sister is well into Pokemon Go. Okay, well, Weather Republic, I will take a look at those later. I am, just because I'm streaming here doesn't mean I'm not that busy. The family is here another day, so I will take a look at those when I have the time. But thank you for sending those in anyways. I've seen it. It's funny. Does he know who Reed Timmer is? Do you know who Reed Timmer is? He is one of the most famous storm chasers out there. He caught tornadoes. He was inside of tornadoes. Look at this guy's reaction. Look at that. Yeah, so yeah, Reed Timmer is the most famous storm chaser. The weather community knows him so well. Like, the entire weather community knows him. BJ is gonna be the best. Oh yeah. Have you been in a weather event like a tornado? So that's for you in Maryland.
We've gone through some hail and like lots of wind, but no tornado.
Yeah, me either. I wouldn't mind doing a storm chase next year for like a week or so. And let me loosen this up. Does he know you made this channel? Yeah, he knows, right? You know I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he asked me, well, I told him about my YouTube channel, then is Flossie gonna hit Cabo? BJ. So what are your thoughts, BJ? Do you think Flossie is going to hit? Let's go to the NHC Outlook here. Do you think Flossie is going to hit Cabo San Lucas, which is down right here? Oh, I thought I heard Megan, your mom. That's a lot of pitter pattering downstairs. So, do you think Cabo's down here? Do you think Flossie could still hit Cabo San Lucas in the next 3 to 5 days? What's your take?
No.
I agree with him. I don't think it's going to hit Cabo San Lucas because of the steering pattern. But indirect impacts such as high surf, lots of maybe some outer banding, some rainfall over that area is going to be a sure thing, and some breezy winds. Frackles, he is out of Maryland, not Florida. Should I have to worry about severe weather for tomorrow in Long Island? So for Long Island, let's take a look at that.
I'm gonna guess no.
Let's see if you're right. Hey, BJ just said he doesn't believe there will be severe weather tomorrow. Let's see, and that's for the Long Island area. Let's see if he's right. Let's see. Wrong. It's going to be tomorrow night. Well, for the most part, looks like most of the day tomorrow looks. Megan, come here. Oh. For Thursday for Maryland. So, I'll have to look at the longer range models. Let me look at that really quick. So for Thursday, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I have like 200 people watching, and they absolutely love it.
No.
They absolutely love it.
It's actually 170.
Well, it was 200. But yeah. Was she gonna be here? Just no, I'm not. Okay. Good night, Grayson. Good night.
Okay.
All right, give me an outlook for Thursday morning, about 5 in the morning. Okay?
Yeah, I've got it here on the NAM model. There's nothing for Maryland.
Okay.
David, let's bake some cookies. Oh my gosh, Tony. What percentage chance does BJ give of development and hitting Florida? So BJ, so testing your knowledge. So what do you give this chance? So if without looking at the NHC, so do you think a 20% is appropriate, or should it be upped a little bit more?
That's my cup. My cup. I'll hold my cup. No.
So you think it should be still at 20%?
Yeah.
And that's because the models, there's not a very, very strong signal. Like, there's some signal there that something forms, but it's not like scary high. It's not like, oh my gosh, we gotta really worry. But yeah, we could bake some cookies for Tony H over here. Or maybe some bratwurst. What does Pasco County, Florida look like for July 7th? Pasco County, Florida. That's. See, I don't know all my counties in Florida because I'm not from Florida. So let's look at Florida over here. Pasco County, Florida. So over there, on July 7th. So let's put that into motion. Pasco County for July 7th. I would probably bet on some pop-up storms, definitely, due to surface heating and a very moist boundary. So I would bet on some showers and thunderstorms. I know you can't help it, Tony. By the way, if you guys are new to the stream and you like the content, you like the tropical live stream updates here, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and also share this with their family and friends on social media. I promise my streams are not going to be like this forever. All right. Now let's let Megan join in for a bit here. Your mom. Come on, Megan. Here, take your water.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
So this mic is
Okay, it doesn't need to be that close.
well, no, it's a Shire mic, so you
Oh.
have to be quite
Hello, everybody.
Well,
I don't want to be eating the microphone.
you're not eating the mic. Oh,
How can you even read chat?
no, this is
Well.
what YouTube gives me, so you have to look at it closely.
No wonder why you never read my messages.
Well, Megan.
Hello, everybody. I'm Megan. I'm David's older brother. I don't even know you can see my face. Don't mind me. I have a 1-year-old, so he had me running around all day.
Tell the viewers what we did today.
Oh, we went to a museum today, and then we had a splash pad in the backyard for all the little kids.
And we're gonna do it again tomorrow.
And then tomorrow. Remember me, it's firing. Yes. Did I say older brother? I meant older sister. Hello, everybody.
Titan is here.
I'm not new to streaming. I used to stream on Twitch. I'm a Twitch partner. That's my claim to fame. But David has been in the weather since I can remember. He was making little still shots with dominoes, making weather fronts.
This is history right here, folks. Remember how I told you I got into weather when I was 6 years old? Well, there's some proof to back it up.
Yep.
Yep. So,
me and my husband, Brandon's older, Brandon's dad, my husband. He's Brandon Jr. I did say brother. Listen, thank you. So we are big into severe weather right now. We're in we're in an obsession. We like watching Storm Chasers and everything. And so the plan is sometime next year to go storm chasing for a week and taking David with us.
you heard it, folks. You heard it. Wow.
That's the plan. But listen, anything can change. I might have another kid. Who knows? No, I'm not pregnant. But I'm just saying. But David has been doing the weather since he was 6. He used to call me I don't even know. He had a nickname for me. It was like some storm cloud or something. Can we say Alabama?
Alabama.
Yeah, hey, Alabama. Can you say Alabama?
Alabama.
I think I would like to go to Missouri, Mississippi, maybe North
Alabama.
Texas. Um, Bahamas, no.
Oh, we're gonna need to get a Starlink. So
Yeah, listen, we're talking a year away, okay, David?
I know.
Listen, when he went to go, listen, I came and visited in 2023, September of 2023. At that point, he was planning for the eclipse trip in April of the next year. Hey, Megan, when did David have an interest in storm chasing? He hasn't like he's never like had the opportunity to go storm chasing. So, he was always interested in the storms, but it's like a matter of not being able to necessarily go to like go storm chase. Where did BJ go?
I think he went downstairs.
Oh. So yeah, he never was like able to go storm chasing. He's always been interested in it. His big interest is like hurricanes. I was totally picking his brain today because I never knew what a discrete supercell was. And I was asking him what a discrete supercell was, and he was explaining it to me. So, cops might pick you up for having a minor in the car. Happened to one of the storm chasers in Minnesota. Yeah, I don't think I would take my child just because I don't want to risk him. But he would watch us.
So it would be me, Megan, and Big Brandon.
Maryland is a long ways from home. Well, yeah. I moved to Maryland for if you're on Twitch, you know Hitch, right? I do not know. I know who Hitch is, but I don't know him. But yes, I know who Hitch is. David's already yeah, David is literally pumped. I actually lived in Florida during Hurricane Dorian in 2019. Yeah, I think it was 2019, right? Nice shirt, ketchup. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's Friday. Let's catch up. I saw that shirt. It was so cute. Can we expect tropical wave Atlantic July 2025 this week? I don't think there's a storm on the horizon, right?
No.
We got some fishers. Maybe.
So we do have something right here that develops in the southeast. So what we're looking at here is a vorticity plot. So this is how much spin there is in the atmosphere. This is a layer that we look at. I know it's hard to take in and understand, but this is a layer that we look at when it comes to, I know it's hard for people to hear, but this is a very important parameter that us as meteorologists use. And not me, because I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm a weather enthusiast, but Megan can tell you more about that.
Do I come on live streams when at home? No. I don't understand the weather like David does. Sorry, there's so many freaking men in the house. I'm getting all their names jumbled, but I don't understand weather. I know about as much as weather, like as the radar will tell me. Flossie is a hurricane now.
Yes, it is. It is a hurricane. So this is, yep, Flossie's a hurricane.
Where's it headed?
It is headed northwest along the coast of Mexico.
But it won't impact Mexico. It'll like graze it. I'm no longer in New Jersey. I moved. Oh, you moved. Have you ever been in a hurricane before? So, I was actually stationed in Hawaii for the Army, and hurricane is Adele. I don't even remember what the name was. Honestly, it started with an I in 2015 or 2014. One of those, somewhere in that time frame, there was a hurricane that became a tropical storm because Big Island broke it up. But I lived in Florida during Hurricane Dorian, and I was living in West Palm Beach. And we were supposed to get hit right on, but it stalled out over the Bahamas for not for long enough, but it stalled out over the Bahamas for over 24 hours, wreaking havoc. And then Irma? Was that? Were you in Maryland for Sandy? No, I was not. Do you have Krispy Kremes? I like the vanilla cream filled ones.
Oh, no.
We do not have what?
It is Krispy Kreme donuts all the time on Discord. He would say Krispy Kreme donuts.
Listen, I wish we had Krispy Kremes. Dorian? Yes, Hurricane Dorian in 2019, I think it was. It was a category 5.
Yes, it was. Oh, it was.
And you know what's crazy is they predicted, listen, I asked David, I need to tell this story. I asked David because I lived in Florida. So I said, hey, David, what do you think Hurricane Dorian's going to do? Because at the time, it was like a low-grade tropical storm. It had just gotten the name and everything. Actually, it was an invest. It wasn't even Dorian. I think it was an invest. I think it was like 98L or one of those numbers.
Yeah.
And so, and David was like, I want to keep an eye on it. I think it's going to pop. I think it's going to burst. And I was like, well, they're thinking it might hit a category 3. He's like, no, I'm thinking it's going to hit a 4 or 5, at least a 4. And I was like, I don't know. I was like the news was saying category 3, a high category 3. And this was when it was like an invest. It wasn't even like a named storm. And then out of nowhere, it got named, and then it just exploded. And David was the one who told me, tell us a joke. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Okay.
So, but yeah, I wanted to intervene here. Like you heard it from Megan. I mean, I can't get every named storm correctly 100%, but I try my best. I really do. And it's thanks to these hurricane models that has A, that has B, the H-mon and the H-bor.
Ate my steak. No, Megan's Law is not named after me. Megan's Law is named after somebody who is actually, I believe, kidnapped. The host of America's Most Wanted, his daughter was kidnapped, I think. When can hurricane season 2025 be busy active? We have people a lot in Houston. Is there severe weather today?
Let's see. So there is no severe weather.
The mic is falling down.
What the? Oh.
Oh, it was like falling down.
There.
Why is it raining a lot? Discrete supercells going on?
Well, right in southern Oklahoma there is.
Oh.
But these are really not that severe, honestly. They're really not.
Listen, I stay up to date with severe weather because we've had some crazy weather in Maryland this year.
Yeah, tell them who you actually watch.
Who do I watch? Well, David doesn't cover severe weather. I try to call him, but he's usually working when I need to know the weather because I trust him over the news.
Oh.
Somebody said Maryland got a tornado today.
What? Yes, they did.
Where? Hold on. Where?
They did. Right?
No, that's Delaware. No, upper north by DC, I think. Oh, where? Hold on. It says right there. Wait, where's Maryland? Oh, Delaware.
Delaware.
Frankfurt, 4 large tree branches down. Oh, so it's probably like an EF0.
And that's today's storm report.
Oh, so there was nothing. It looks like there's stuff like in DC.
Wind reports.
Oh, wind reports.
The blue dots are wind reports. The red dots are.
Oh.
Let's see from yesterday. Yeah, so a lot of it.
But yeah, so I watch Max Velocity. He's like my go-to guy for severe weather. Sounds like low end EF1. Yeah. Megan, New Jersey and Maryland got severe thunderstorm warning. Yes. It's a stovepipe tornado. Listen, I watched probably like a month ago, there was like this big wedge tornado in Nebraska in the middle of nowhere. It was massive. Oh my God, yeah. Max is great. David doesn't do severe weather, but
Well, with this new setup, I'm going to try to do it next year. But the thing is, I have work at Safeway, and I'm trying to dedicate myself
yeah.
doing YouTube during severe weather, but Safeway gets in the way. It really does.
His lives are out of control. Out of Big Wedge tornado during April 20 Hyannis tornado. Was that it? Oh, do you guys remember the Ides of March tornado outbreak?
Oh, the March outbreak. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Florida.
it was.
Oh yeah, David is great with hurricanes. He is so up to date. Like he is current. I trust him to give me. I've only watched him for hurricane stuff but I don't really get hurricanes in Maryland. I think the last time we got one was probably Sandy, like a bad one. But yeah, but it was in like the middle of nowhere, right? Tough. March 14th, Pi Day outbreak. Yeah, what was the worst hurricane you were in? I was never in like a hurricane. I got tropical storm conditions when I was in Hawaii for the storm there, and then got tropical storm conditions for Dorian because it stalled out over Bahamas and then it went north. It went like this, and I think the first landfall it actually had, don't quote me on this, but was in Virginia. I'm pretty sure it hit Virginia or it grazed North Carolina.
Oh, we have another David here. What's up, David?
I'm gonna dip out though, but I just want to. David hasn't read my comments since last year because I'm. Well, yeah, your name's kind of like it's like a meme name, so I would just call you Mike, but not your last name, because you know what you're doing with your last name, Mike. Okay. Are you planning to be making a channel like David? I already streamed on Twitch. I did my thing. I got partnered off that for something completely different. I don't mind hopping in on David's streams, but I don't know anything about the weather.
You can be more for the commentary.
I could be like the real people commentary. Like there's a big cloud out there.
Yeah.
That's a big cloud. Like a shelf cloud. I don't even know what happens with shelves. Like shelf clouds, they just look cool.
Any entertainment, I'm trying to figure out why it's not popping up that I'm live on his thing. I think he has YouTube Kids. Is that what it is?
No, that's YouTube.
That's regular YouTube. What's it is? Oh, it streamed 9 days ago. Here, exit out and refresh it. Mike, you know what you're doing, okay? I'm pretty sure you're probably friends with Seymour, right? Mike? David, when are you going? Big dark cloud. Exactly, Freckles. When are you going to do July 1st? Will you be streaming tomorrow night?
I don't know. It's not popping up. Megan's gonna have to figure that out.
I would literally say big dark cloud, big dark cloud. Watch it. Literally, I had a dream about a tornado last night. No joke. I have so many dreams about a tornado at this house. I'm delivery driver for Amazon, so you want to know if it's gonna. Oh, exactly, Mike. I got you. This dude sucks. He was the worst when Hurricane Barrel. Okay, well, you can kindly. I can't say any swear words because I respect my brother, but you can literally take a hike. Okay.
Take a hike up to Half Dome.
Oh, but that's a nice hike, though. We're gonna hide user on this channel. Thank you.
Perfect.
Kick him off, yeah.
Yeah, he's gone.
Tomorrow's the 1st of July, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not
I can't believe it. We're halfway through the year.
Oh boy.
The year's floating by fast. All right. Any last minute questions here? I'm going to actually end this in a couple of minutes.
Okay. I'm going to let David wrap it up here, but thank y'all for having me on. I appreciate y'all. I tried to be on David's winter severe coverage streams because I had really bad snowstorm in Maryland and we were driving through it because we have a Jeep. So it was fun. But maybe I can coordinate with, I don't know, some dude that was being mean, but I can coordinate with David to maybe bring some like live footage, from different storms that we get. Cause, yeah.
We'll have to work that out. I want to go back there so bad though. I really.
Well, yeah, we're going to try and get him to come out there. It's just so hard to travel across the country. Anyways, I appreciate y'all.
And thank you, Megan, for joining. I'll be down there for ice cream.
There's no ice cream.
There isn't?
Who told you we were having ice cream?
Grandma did.
No, Grandma didn't.
Yeah, Grandma said, or someone said that we were going to have ice
Yeah, Bubba did. A child.
Okay.
A 5-year-old. That's where you went wrong.
Oh, okay. I'll be downstairs here. And oh, yeah, well, or not. We'll have Tony H ice cream. No, I'm just kidding. All right, you guys. Any last minute questions? I do want to say thank you guys for being here. I know tonight was a very Why is this loose? Hold on. Shouldn't be loose. So I want to thank you guys. I mean, this was a really good stream. I know it was very different, and a lot of people were like, why do you have a child on the stream? This was like a special night because BJ absolutely, like, he was like, can I be on your stream, please, please? And then my sister was like, oh yeah, he likes to be on everyone's stream. He likes to be popular. Oh, and here he comes, back upstairs. Is it working?
It's like that thing.
Yeah.
It's down there.
Oh, it's me, BJ. Oh, it's you. So how is the MDR going to be in the next 2 weeks? So in the next, and that might cause some feedback. There. That way it doesn't cause feedback. So the main development region in the next couple of weeks, we are looking again at some confluence along the intertropical convergence zone, but we are not expecting any substantial development at this given time. Now, of course, you're clicking on this thumbnail and be like, oh, Dave, there's a highlighted area down here. I have to have some context, you know, and you heard it from my sister. When it comes to the tropics, I am very good at what I'm doing. Even so, I might hype squad things a little bit. I don't want to have a naked thumbnail. Like, who wants to have a naked thumbnail? No one does. But yeah, the symptoms that I'm looking at right now, there's a little area that I didn't even take note of right here. Oops. Right here in the southwestern Atlantic. That's in 7 days. That has a little bit of spin on it as well, but nothing too significant. And then there's just confluence all down here that we will need to watch. Again, I'm not expecting any hurricanes through the next 2 weeks. I'm not expecting any named storms in the next couple of weeks. What I'm expecting is more tropical wave activity coming off of Africa. And then once that develops, then we move forward. DJ the Broke, I do not have a girlfriend. Thank you. What's up, Brittany Parker? You missed the fun. We actually had a little bit of a podcast earlier. Hi, David. If you look at the EC Aphis model, you can see a tropical wave forming off the Central Africa coast. So, the Aphis model. I call it the Aphis. I know it doesn't go well with, but that's my terminology. The ECMWF Aphis. Yeah. So now one model. So this is a AI model base. So it's machine learning technology. So it does show strong tropical waves coming off of Africa. Now, of course, it's only one model. I'm not going to say that, oh, this is a tropical storm or a tropical depression, right? We're learning what you guys are going to learn as what I'm showing you here is that this is a symptom. Okay, so this is telling us that, whoa, we got some stronger tropical waves. Let me turn myself down. We have some stronger tropical waves here coming off of Africa. Whoa, we need to be watching. We've got to be paying attention because models are not going to show a hurricane like this in rare occasions this far out. They're going to show a lot of these aggressive tropical waves first. And then as we get closer, what does that tropical wave look like? So let's go back in time here really quickly. So what is the atmosphere going to look like in 264 hours out? Will this even be here? Will this even be a strong tropical wave? Will it be a tropical depression? That's the thing that we do not know yet, all right? What we do know, though, is the background state by the middle of July is slowly going to become favorable and conducive. And so we then look below that and be like, okay, the background state looks to be a bit more favorable. Will we get tropical waves? And it looks like we will. Now that we have tropical waves, will we see any tropical development off of Africa through the MDR into the Caribbean? And that's a question that I cannot answer 100% confidence. What we look for is symptoms, signals in the main development region, things that are like this. We have different models we can look at. The APHIS is one of them. The GFS is also another product that we look at. How strong will Flossie get in peak intensity? 110 miles an hour. So that is close to major hurricane intensity. This would be potentially the second major hurricane of the East Pacific hurricane season. I mean, I don't know how in the heck the East Pacific got this active. We did not expect it to be like this. And that's just a heads up for you all that are watching. Just because you see the East Pacific forecasted to be slightly below average this season doesn't mean it's actually going to end up that way. Like so far, look where we're looking at. We might be on our letter G storm before long. Will I be streaming tomorrow night? We will see. It depends on the fam. It looks like it's going to be about the same time because as you heard from my sister, we're going to have the kids splash around. I need to be watching them and making sure they're not getting into trouble and stuff. I'm kind of a lifeguard out there. I'm kind of watching over my nephew when he's out there in the water, as well as the other kids splashing around in 100-degree temperature weather. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Flossie does get to a category 3 with rapid intensification indices that are high enough. Let's actually look at Flossie right here. So Flossie gets to about 110 on the halves A. Let's see the halves B. Yeah, so the halves B is kind of borderline major hurricane. Let's see the WRF model, the H-WRF. Also quite similar with intensity, H-MON. Yeah, so right now, all of the hurricane models are not showing this to become a major hurricane yet. And the halves A and halves B have done quite well. So if anything, it becomes a 100-mile-an-hour hurricane is what my forecast is calling for. What? Oh, yeah, sure. I'm almost done. So my town in the Central Valley has not reached 100 degrees in the month in June. Let me actually confirm that. I don't think I think it got close to 100 today. It was hot. I could even be outside. Today got up to 95. Let me see what we have done so far in June, though. What the hottest day was. Yes, we have officially avoided 100-degree temperatures. Not one day did it reach 100 degrees on my weather station. And this is a National Weather Service certified weather station. If you don't believe me, go to the National Weather Service and literally click on the STO office. And then go to current conditions, go to observations, and then you could literally find my weather station right here. This is my weather station. And this gives us latest wind speeds and stuff. And so it is certified through the NWS. And we have not hit 100 yet today or this month, which is nice. Last year, let's see what it was like last year. Last year, it was 100 degrees. So we did that. We did that like 3 times in June last year. So far this year, this June, it's actually been 3 degrees cooler overall on average. Nights were cooler than they were last year at this time. So that's good news. And that lines up very well with our PMM, Pacific Meridional Mode. And what that is, it's like a long-lasting La Nina kind of thing. It's this cold patch of water right here. Oops. What the heck? That's weird. Okay, there we go. That's why. So yeah, it's this cooler water. In fact, water temperatures off the coast right now are as much as 3.5 degrees below average where we're at right now. So that is pretty chilly. In fact, we are in the low 50s, 50 degrees to be exact, off the SF coast. All right. There is an eye forming. Oh shoot, really? Oh wow, yeah, there is actually an eye forming on Flossie. Let's see. Yeah, there's definitely an eye trying to form. Absolutely. So that's getting its act together. All right. I think that's going to close it off. So anyways, folks, thank you all for tuning in. As always, I might be live tomorrow night. I might just do one of these sessions. I'll even ask my sister to participate with me on that one. We'll see, okay? I'll explain more about that after. All right. And I don't know if I'll go live, though. I'm not sure because, you know, I want to enjoy you guys, too. Splashing in the water, having some fun. All right. Well, anyways, yeah, people are saying you're a great nephew.
BJ, you woo, buddy.
Yeah. I'm the uncle over here. All right, one last question. Will there be a stream tomorrow night? Again, that is being considered. I do not know yet. Just because there's a lot going on, because the family is here this week until Wednesday. It's very hard to make videos because I'm very, very distracted when it comes to everything. I have to do it overnight, which I was very tired this morning and today, so that's not going to happen for a while at least. So again, it is considered maybe tomorrow at around the same time, like 8 o'clock, because that's when the family starts to kind of wind down a little bit and it gets kind of late enough. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. We might do Pokemon Go. I think I've talked to my sister on that one. Enjoy your family while you can. Yes, I agree. I so agree. And that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. but I also want to take care of you guys too. I want to keep you guys updated as well. You're like family to me as well. I mean, when I was on vacation, I was like, man, I wonder how you all are doing, and glad everything is good. No one got hurt, you know, but I do love you guys. And I'm not crying, but I just cannot wait to track a tropical storm or hurricane with my new setup. Live cameras all over the place. Oh my gosh. It's going to be exciting. It is. I cannot wait for the peak of hurricane season. I just cannot wait to try out the new equipment in its fullest of arms. Actually, the eye has formed on Hurricane Flossie. Oh yeah, I know Felix the cat. Meow, meow. All right. It is 9:21. As always, have a great rest of your night, folks. Please subscribe to the channel. I know I'm tired. Yeah, hold on. Please subscribe as always, because if you don't subscribe, you're not going to get notified. Even BJ over here subscribed, right?
Yep.
All right, so say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yep. So, yeah. So I'm gonna head off for the night. As always, this was an hour and 20-minute stream. Not a lot going on out there right now, other than that area to watch off the Florida coast, and then we are going to need to watch what goes on down here by the middle of July for the potential for development way down the road. I mean, mid-July, late July-ish. All right. As always, have a great rest of your night, and I might be back with you more today on the first day. Actually, you know what? We'll probably do a stream because it's the first day of July. Why not? So I'll see you guys back here tonight at 8 p.m. on the 1st of July. Well, for people that live in the Eastern Seaboard time zone. All right. Peace out, folks. Have a great night.